tricky one. You see that very commonly in most golfers. And it comes from obviously not using the upper body and the lower body correctly. In a correct swing, the lower body initiates the downswing, and that gets the arms to fall in, and that creates the club coming down on a better path. So I think what most people do is they get to the top and then they want to just throw the head of the club, and that gets that over the top feel and that slice. So the more you can just concentrate on getting those hips to start moving first, and letting the arms feel quiet at the top and just letting it fall, I think the better chance you'll hit of not just hitting it, eliminating the slice, but starting to hit a draw. Well, I think reading greens is a skill that you can learn. On the putting green, I use a string line very often, where I set the ball underneath the string on a quite slopey putt. And usually amateurs under-read putts 2 or 3 times less than what they actually do break. So, by using this string line, you can start to see and feel how much putts are breaking, and you can train your eyes. And I think you can bring that then onto the golf course. While it's important to kind of see what your player is doing, the best advice I can do is never give away a hole. Never give him an easy hole. So make him make that putt for par or birdie to win the hole. Never try and throw away holes by making silly mistakes. So make sure you're playing the course as well, not making silly mistakes and throwing away holes through careless errors. Yeah, that's a tough one. The shank gives you those bad feelings that you don't want in golf. The rule of thumb is, once the shot's gone, it's gone. There's nothing you can do about it. There's no point stewing on it, no point thinking about it. Next shot, pinpoint a small target of what you're trying to do, and then go execute it. Obviously, it comes with a little bit of practice. But again, getting very specific, not just thinking about generally going in the hole. Pick something very small in the back of the hole or something in front of you and hit it over that point. And I think that frees up your mind a little bit, and you don't think about missing it. I would first of all check your grip. That's the biggest power source you have in the game. If you're getting the grip too much in your palms, you can't hinge the club properly, and that hinge and that whipping at the ball is what creates a lot of speed and power. So I would first make sure it's in the fingers more, so you can create that power. Well, bunker shots, I've always loved being in the bunker, so have a good attitude when you get in there, but then again, understand the correct fundamentals. You have to really use the bounce properly. You can't get that shaft of the sandwich digging into the sand behind. So another good rule is your divot, you shouldn't really think about how far behind you want to hit the ball, but you want to make sure that your divot behind the ball is as far behind it as it is in front. Okay, most people get way too far behind the ball, and their divot doesn't even encompass much more past the ball than an inch or two. So, that's a good little thing to practice, but make sure you're really using that bounce in the greenside bunkers. Yeah, again, I think better ball striking comes from really good posture, and maintaining that posture throughout. So if you're tending to lift up and down throughout your swing and losing height or gaining height, it's very hard to be consistent and get back to the ball at the same spot. So, consistent strike and consistent better ball striking comes from keeping that pitch look that you see in golf and keeping it constant throughout. And spin comes from good contact. I think the fault that a lot of amateurs do is they try and lift the ball up. There's plenty of loft on the club, so I use this a lot, but use the bounce correctly. Not getting the club too far back in the stance and with a shaft leaning forward. That's just only going to take loft off the club and create forward spin. So yeah, the more you can get the ball a little bit forward, pinch it through good strike, going down, forward and left. That's what I would always tell the listeners or anyone I give lessons to. That's the kind of feel you want. in practice, I like to split up my practice in 4 different parts. My putting, my short game, wedge play, which is 100 or 120 yards and in, and then full swing. And I like to spend an equal amount. Most people, I think, get to the range and they just want to hit balls and hit drivers, and they forget about the other 3 parts of the game. So think about spending more time on some of the other parts, and I think that will help in the long run.